And welcome to this segment of Smart Notebook. For 2018, we've got Smart 18, Notebook 18, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to start talking about some of the newer features in this. Now, from last year, it hasn't changed a whole lot, but some of the online offerings has. And I'm kind of excited to show you what those entail. You'll see that the user interface for Smart Notebook has not changed hardly at all. There are a couple differences. We've got the click down here. We've got the activity builder within here, and any of the add-ons. I should have started with the add-ons here, but with the add-ons, you've got image web search, YouTube videos that you can embed right into your main slide, lesson recorder, which is always a great tool if you want to do flipped classrooms, GeoGebra, which is actually also up here in the add-ons widget, and then you got Smart Blocks, which is kind of fun to do. If you get a chance to try all these out, I'm not going to get into each and every one of these, but do try these out. If you don't have time, do some research on YouTube to bring those up. But they're kind of self-explanatory on getting through, and to keep this short on time, I'm not going to go into every single one. But activity builders, a big fan of. The other thing that's new as of last year was a Smart Lab. And Smart Lab is an interactive piece that you can add. We've got fill in the blank, flip out, game show, label reveal, match them up, monster quiz, response to, rank order, shout it out, and speed it up. And then super sort. With all of these activities that you can do, it's very much more fluid in how it works. And because there's no more Flash support for Smart Notebook, it's one of those things to where these are more HTML5 based, and the interactivity part is there. Now, if you have older lessons that still have Flash components to them, they will still open up in a browser as long as you've got the Flash plugin installed on your computer. But just know that no more Flash support is not really a Smart thing. It's more of an Adobe thing. Adobe is getting rid of Flash in 2020 and will no longer support Flash at all. Now there's some third-party extensions that will enable Flash content, but if you have some staff that they have a ton of that, ton of those lessons that include Flash content, make sure you let me know, and I can help them on showing them how they can still use that within a web browser. That said, let's go back into the Smart Lab. And some of these that are fun to build, these activities, just know that there are 3 activities to where you can have a device required, it says. And this is something that anytime that you can get student engagement higher in a lesson, you're going to have a better lesson. And that student engagement piece is huge. Now, back in the day when you had the old clickers, the smart response clickers, they were very cumbersome. Sometimes they didn't work. Sometimes kids broke them. Sometimes they just broke on their own. The batteries may have been dead. Not the best experience for teachers, but with students having access to personal devices, and we've got one-to-one Chromebooks, this is something that's easily done. Even if they don't have their Chromebook, and if they got a personal device with an internet connection, doesn't even have to be on the school connection, which they can't. But if they got a cellular device, they can get on to the website for this and do these activities online. Very fun to do. Now, I've got a separate video that I'm going to post in here, so I'm not going to get too much into how to do these activities because that pretty much outlines the whole thing. But just know that between like Monster Quiz and Response to, and I outline this in my next video, is that this is the same as this with just a lot more kiddie stuff in there to where it's cutesy and has monsters, to where this just this is for older kids evidently. So getting into Smart's website, to have those websites interactive, they've got suite.smarttech.com. I encourage staff to create an account with Smart if they do not have one. They simply go to account, they sign in if they're not signed in, and they create an account if they don't have one yet to get online with the Smart Suite. Now, there's no cap, I think, on lessons, at least that I've found. you can here add a lesson that you've got. So if you've got a Smart file, either PDF, PowerPoint, or a Smart Notebook file, you can upload that lesson. I already have one uploaded. If I start this, I can have my students get on their Chromebooks, go to classlab.com, and I can have a lesson either teacher paced or student paced, which is outstanding. If you click on this little drawer pull out here, I can have my students go to hellosmart.com, 79976, and here I can have students participate in a student-paced lesson where they can go on their own. If you want it more teacher-paced, that's fine. Students can go through here. They can interact with some of these elements. They can move these around. They can even click on this pencil icon here, and they can draw on these. And if it's teacher-based, everyone in the classroom can see this, which is outstanding to see that they've got this opportunity. Once again, this is a very engaging type of lesson, and it's in me testing this out with students, it's actually pretty easy for students to get into. You can add a new page or do a shouted out activity. You can jump to different slides within the presentation. And this is a great thing for like student voice and choice. Students can go in and circle what they think is the answer. It's very empowering for some students. Now, if I was to go in and do a teacher-paced lesson, this is where everyone in the class will be able to see it. If it was student-paced, they can do it on their own. No other kid sees what they're interacting with, which is kind of neat. So that's that with that. Please watch that other video and the next segment here, and that will cover more on how to do the activity builder with the Smart Lab, not the activity builder, but the Smart Lab activities with the interactive part. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next segment.